Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So today there is a hypothesis that I wanted to bring forward to you guys. I want y'all to take it, chop it up, analyze, and comment on it. And that's pretty much the potential that the Gotham Knights game, its release window is contingent on the Battinson movie. When I say Battinson, I mean Robert Pattinson's, play of Batman. The new Batman movie that is scheduled for March of 2022 is actually going to be, being played by Robert Pattinson. So we call it a Battinson movie. All of you know this stuff. But what is this hypothesis that I'm seeing? Where is the validity to it? And I'm here racking my brain trying to say, you can't put it past Warner Brothers to try to do something like that. And at the same time, just because they are not necessarily related, there is the possibility that, it's something other than, it having its own release window and it having just its own development delays and all of the above because of COVID and all the rest. Now, here are a few things that we have to pay attention to. Now, I'm going to try my best not to necessarily put anybody's name out there, but I remember one of the people that are working on Gotham Knights, I think in the sense of development, this lady went ahead and put a post on Twitter saying that just having heard the new mandates that were actually enforced in a region in Canada, that they just felt like they wanted to just go home and not even try to do anything for 3 weeks. Basically saying that the mandates for this, basic virus thing all over the place has actually put in a position where it might stunt some of the social aspects of what people enjoy. Now, if you go back and if you can even locate this thread, which I'm not putting out there, but you got to take my word for it, some people were commenting and saying, social life really does help to decompress in terms of very heavy hitting jobs that a lot of people like developers do. Now, I'm not saying that this is a problem at the moment. I think work and businesses are being open over there in different regions in Canada in some sense. But if you think about how the pandemic affected both the Battinson movie and the Gotham Knights game release, I think you can kind of chalk up and say that these may be different timelines in regard to how they intended to release these things. And a video game is not necessarily contingent on just something else being out the block. It's usually contingent on it being polished and complete. Movies, on the other hand, they usually have their seasons and they have, different windows that they want to release them. And this Battinson movie was already supposed to be released, if not for the delay caused by the pandemic. So I don't think that they necessarily both share the same timeline. Now, who knows? They may have said, well, since one of them is getting a delay based on the pandemic and the other one is still in production, what is the timeline? Or right now, what is the progress of development? Let's see if we can tie them together. Maybe it was a last minute decision that was made. I think this is probably the one way that you can kind of go ahead and chalk it up. I mean, there really is no other way to kind of think about it other than saying, okay, maybe these are the possibilities. But I think if you really wanted to put that cinematic side of things, more than likely that Gotham Knights TV show, even though they have said many times that it's not related, that might be the possible tie-in, or at least the possible timeline that they may be trying to explore in a sense. They may be trying to say, why don't we kind of work our way through, getting this particular, movie or TV show in a way that it can kind of resonate with Gotham Knights the game. I think all of the advertising and all of the noise, all of the hype is probably going to help one push the other. Now, I think it's going to be helping the TV show, not necessarily the game. We all know that the game already has a lot of hype behind it. There's no doubt about that. But the TV show, we don't necessarily know what that's about. And even what we know, we don't know much, but even what we know is not necessarily the most comfortable news, because a lot of the executive production team that did Batwoman are some of the people that are actually coming in to do this particular Gotham Knights show. And, the Batwoman, TV show didn't necessarily have the hottest of ratings. So I don't think many people are expecting something phenomenal from a team that could not deliver with a very dynamic DC character. I know Batwoman may not necessarily be the foremost on many DC and Bat Family fans' plate, but she is still a dynamic, hardcore character. Something that if you were to write a serious version of this character, you would nail down a strong character that has actually been developed over the years in the comics. But in the TV, series, this depiction, it appears, from what I've read, I haven't seen a single episode of the thing anyways, and I don't know if I will bother, but from what I've read, in terms of, what I'm seeing in critics and, reading a lot of the different reviews, that the show did not necessarily land well on its 2 feet. Even one of the cast members playing the major role kind of left. I mean, who plays a Bat Family role and says, I'm good, when someone like, Keaton is trying to come back into his old role as Batman? Someone's leaving a role as Batwoman. I mean, I guess that's just my own analysis. So I think, again, like I said, it appears that the Gotham Knights show might be what's going to be, benefiting from the Gotham Knights game. I think that sounds much more, plausible in my opinion. But like I said, I would love for you guys to sit down and dissect this stuff. Let's talk about it in the comment section. There's a lot to kind of consider when we're weighing all this stuff, and I'll be happy to, chime in from time to time. So appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for your participation, and thanks for watching the video. Hopefully we'll talk in another one. Peace out.